Hi, I'm John Hopwood. I'm running as a Democrat for state rep in District 17, which is the U.S. Senate.
Even the ball girl can't revive Teddy.
For your Washington Nationals, the first baseman
Sullivan, my English teacher at West High, knowing I dreamed of traveling to faraway places, told me that one day I'd return. He was right. I've told you about my connection to Manchester's past. Let me tell you about my commitment to the future.
If they move, kill them.
I don't have to tell you, Manchester is in trouble. The folks in Concord haven't been doing a good job marketing our city to the high-tech businesses.
What a dump.
That were located 55 miles from a place recently cited as the seventh.
She was bred in old Kentucky, but she's only a crumb up here. She's not neat and double-jointed with a cauliflower ear. Someday we shall be married, and if vegetables get too dear, I'll cut myself a nice big slice of her cauliflower ear.
From store 6. Hope stop you. I'm sorry. This is what it's like.
And the future of Manchester
Okay, go.
depends on
I'm from Store 66. My name is Alex Litzell, born and raised in Manchester. This isn't about money, wages. This isn't about who's running the business. It's about our family and Arthur T. We want him running it because this is the way it's been run forever. It's traditional.
Hi,
It's all about the family.
I'm John Hopwood. I'm running for state rep from Ward 10. I'm a freelance writer and editor in an army.
Thank you.
I was raised in Manchester, but spent much of my adult life in other places before I returned home.
Hi, this is Joe Moose Elber, and we're at the Hamer's house today celebrating John Hopwood running for state rep of Alderman 10, and something about 17. I don't know what the hell the 17 is. But, so I'm calling out 3 people today to do the ALS challenge. And I'm going to count on number 1 is Mayor Gatsis, and I'm calling out Patrick Arnold and the infamous John Hopwood. Okay? So I'm calling out those 3 people, and watch it.
Cause that ain't ration.
Wow!
If they move, kill them.
Hi, welcome to Ward 13 with John Hopwood. My name is Stanislaus Skimaskowski. I'm sitting in for John tonight. And we have Kathy Corkery here.
Hi,
I
John.
don't actually know who you are because this is just a simulation.
Oh, shoot. What should I call you?
You can call me Stan, John,
Stan.
Mr. Skimaskowski. I just noticed that, why are they using the fat simulation?
Oh, well, you know.
Being your typical person of the Polish persuasion of over 6 foot 4 inches tall.
Oh, I
And
never would have
massive
guessed.
blonde hair. Handsome, like a
Very handsome.
young Paul Newman. and they have to give me this, whoever this guy is. I hear he's being plagued by flying squirrels.
Oh, flying squirrels.
You
I
know-
don't have any of those.
Well, you know,
In my
there is a
backyard.
demand over at the Mint restaurant, but geez, no, what not the Mint? We'll get sued
In
again.
Portsmouth? Is it in
Yeah,
Portsmouth?
right,
Yeah,
it must be
yeah,
Portsmouth,
it must be in Portsmouth.
establishment or
Yeah.
something, you know.
I've heard
Fricasseed,
stories.
parboiled,
Right.
bite-sized.
Flying squirrels, though, they must be cute.
Not when you have 6 coming down the chimney all at once.
Oh, maybe not so cute.
They sure can. I tell you, you know, suddenly I hear this chomping song. I go out and I forgot to put the. This was at the beginning of the plague. I forgot to put the cap on my Teddy all natural peanut butter. That little son of a gun. He's holding it because they're only that tall. They can fit in your hand. Got it with, and they got like it looks like they got paws, you know, and they got opposable thumbs. It's holding it. And then I'm like, Jesus, you know, you let out this. Hey, what the hell's going on here? The thing grabs a hold of it and just jumps like 10 feet with
Oh
the
my
damn
God!
thing.
With the lid?
Yes. Well, so far I've repatriated 10 of them.
10.
There has been a loss of 2.
Oh.
Well, they don't thrive alone. They have to be. They don't hibernate. They don't go into what's called a torpor. So they have to have another flying squirrel.
Oh, that's
So-
kind of sweet. Isn't
They all
aren't
look
penguins kind of like that too? They can't be alone.
Are you play? Am I going to have a plague of penguins? With my luck, they'd be emperor penguins. They just take the whole house over, kick me out.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Yes, they are. Someday I'm going to relearn French so I can understand the March of the Penguins, but listen to the original. The
That's
original.
good. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I guess the version that we see with what's his name? You know, the voice of God.
Oh, right.
It's all like family oriented and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I bet those penguins are more rascally than you.
Right.
I doubt if they're good Christians like in the English version. Kathy Corkery, welcome to Ward 13 with Stan Skimiskowski.
Thank you, Stan. I have a couple of things I wanted to tell you and the world of Ward 13 about.
Yes, Ward 13. You know, it wasn't Ward 13 for a long time. But,
Came back.
well, kind of. You know. The bad ideas have a way of resurrecting themselves.
One is there's legislation, and then there's a couple of fun activities for you to come out and do.
We're talking about a legislation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, why don't you tell the audience who you are? You haven't been here in a
You're
while.
right. You're right.
You have your own camera, I would hope.
Hello, I'm
look at
Kathy.
The new cameras.
Oh, so fancy. I'm Kathy Corkery from New Hampshire Sierra Club, and we're concerned about the environment and and the standards and protections that we have to protect clean air and clean water and public lands and public health. And one of the things that we're concerned about is more about the democratic process.
Not the Democratic Party, but the Democratic process.
The other P. And this is House Bill 1233, 1233.
Is this federal in the
This
United
is-
States Congress?
It is not. It's in Ye Old State House in Concord.
Ye Old State House.
The Ye Old
You
State
mean
House.
the Concord Clown College?
Right, the Clown College. Some people call it that.
Yes, I think they call that here at Ward 13.
In Ward 13, that's the name. I won't challenge that. But this
I'm
bill,
sorry, Kathy. Those
is-
flying screws, they give you a little gas.
this bill is about it's about preemption, and so
Preemption, what does that mean?
right. So it says
Ooh.
the state says towns can't do anything stronger than what we have in statute or in rule or in law.
Now, why would they do that?
Well, that's a really good question. I can speculate about their motivation, but
What about, I thought this is live free or die, you know?
Right. I thought there was a thing of local control.
Well, yeah.
But the truth of the matter is that New Hampshire is not a home rule state.
What is a home rule? What is home rule?
Home rule, I bet you have a better definition than I do.
Well, yes, but it has to do with Ireland in the 19th century.
Oh, see,
Charles
it's way
Parnell.
better than what I would have thought.
We could talk about James Joyce.
Oh, yeah? Tell me.
Ivy Day in the committee room is a story that hinges on home rule.
Oh, yeah?
Well, it's to let the Irish have their own parliament, rather than be ruled from Westminster by those dastardly Protestants, those white Anglo-Saxon Protestants that, the bane of the entire world.
For instance.
Anglo-Saxon jurisprudence, well, that's racist.
Ah, okay. And so home rule...
Particularly if you're Irish, and you look Irish.
I am.
Corkery.
Right.
We
From
had
the
Jim
Munster.
O'Connell from Cork.
From the Munster.
Munster. Well, that's a cheese.
Well, no, it's a region.
Does it go well with peanuts? Tell you, if anybody's got some extra peanuts, we bring them to the studio. God knows how many how many of these littling show up.
But,
boy.
So home rule came from the Irish wanting to...
Oh, Kathy.
Come on, I'm taking you too seriously. Anyway.
Yes.
But this
Home rule, I
would...
have no idea what that means in the United States.
Right. Well...
What does it mean? I can look it up online as you talk.
Oh, please do. That'll be good.
Shut me up.
I know that New Hampshire is not a home rule state, and
Can you
that...
think of one that is?
Alabama? Maybe. A state I know nothing of. But
you don't know anything about Alabama? Well, Jeff Sessions from Alabama.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. And I don't know if they are a home rule state or not.
Notice how we only had like 10 minutes of material, but by my constant interruptions and BS, we'll stretch it out to an entire hour.
Excellent.
What does
so in New Hampshire,
yes.
home rule, the opposite of home rule, is that the state enables towns to do stuff, to have legislation or to have ordinance or to enact certain things.
Alabama would be the opposite of home rule. It has the longest constitution in the world. Back 10 years ago, it was over 350,000 words because everything is in the Constitution. Every town, because a lot of African Americans are in Alabama, and they had their own towns after Reconstruction. So the state rules everything. They don't allow a town to pass any laws or anything of their own.
Okay.
Even cities, yeah.
So that's not a good example.
That would be the opposite of home
Right.
rule.
Right. So how about another state?
Home rule in the United States. In some states, let me get the microphone up so we'll have a richer tones.
Right.
In some states, known as home rule states, an article or amendment to the state constitution grants cities, municipalities, and/or counties the ability to pass laws to govern themselves as they see fit. Is they say fit or is they see fit?
As I see.
I like say fit better.
As they say fit.
Yes, it does say see, but
Good. With the glasses.
so long as they obey, yes, the state and federal constitutions.
Right.
Well, I'll bust my buttons.
Well, there you go. So,
What are they going to try to preempt, Kathy? Are some nefarious places full of goddamn liberals like
you would think it
Durham?
might be, there might be cause for towns to follow a state regulation because it's super important and maybe dangerous or there's safety involved. But this bill, HB 1233, is about seeds.
Seeds?
And fertilizer.
Seeds of discontent.
Right, I think so. It prohibits, and you know what, I have to read some of this because
this is some of what, like when we had Bonnie on.
Right. Well, so remember
yes, I do.
that last year, or was it last year or 2 years ago?
So, with all that's been happening
With the
here in the
late,
Granite
right,
State,
right,
it's
right.
hard to remember.
It's hard to remember. It's
think it
hard
was
to
last
say.
year.
Was it last year? They wanted to label things that were from GMOs.
genetically modified
Right.
organisms.
Right.
And it was
So-
important to pass it because
And so in some states, not New Hampshire, we heard that there were towns passing ordinances
no kidding.
requiring labeling or prohibiting the planting of GMO seeds.
Well, wouldn't that slay your keister, as my mother would say, although she wouldn't use the word keister, not being Irish.
So this bill,
I was looking at pumpkin seeds today because I caught a new flying squirrel, and they said they're from China.
oh,
Now,
interesting.
I've heard you don't buy foodstuffs from China because they load it with all sorts of stuff, like plastics and stuff, to try to boost
Their appearances
It will.
and
Well,
things.
no, it will fool. Like it's supposed to have more protein. God knows how they ascertain the protein content with this
knows?
crap coming out of China. If you remember during the Obama administration, where the FDA was supposed to establish all these things, these places in China that would make sure that all these drugs and foodstuffs coming into our great land were up to snuff. Although I doubt that ever happened.
Up to our standards,
Yes,
right?
So, and it also says at the grocery store, ask us for any information because we don't
so
have any
yes.
up-to-date information
Right,
on
right,
the provider.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so this bill says that any town or whatever can,
and it's New Hampshire. What is it?
Gen Court. Oh, HB
Yeah.
1233.
1233.
Yeah. And it says towns cannot regulate, and then it goes on. And this,
You mean
it's
it
like
ca-
a four-line sentence. You ready? Cannot, the whole field of regulation regarding the display, distribution, growing, cultivation, harvesting, production, labeling, marketing, mixing, notification of use, planting, possessing, processing, registration, sale, storage, transportation, or other use, or the inspection, analysis, examination, certification, classification, testing, or licensing of agricultural, flower tree, shrub, or vegetable seeds, or products or sellers of such seed. All of that a town cannot have an ordinance about. Now, the thing I'm really worried about, besides the whole thing, is that it includes the vegetable seeds, shrub seeds.
Shrubs?
Yeah, shrub seeds. So blueberries.
What about pot?
Oh, nothing about
marijuana.
marijuana. No, nothing about Mary J. in this. Agricultural and vegetable seeds. So all of those seeds and their products. So what does that mean? The product of a shrub,
Of a shrub.
of a
shrub?
seed, of a shrub seed is a shrub, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know. Or it could be the blueberries or the berries of said shrub.
It's flying squirrels. The time they made is February and March. I don't know
Oddly enough.
what you call tiny flying squirrels since they're already so tiny. Do they just have those little wiggling things like rats or something?
Wow, they look like little
Wigglers.
worms.
Yeah.
Wigglers. Or fluffies.
I wonder if they're regulated. Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe the Board of Aldermen in
I thi-
Manchester would like to do something about flying squirrels and the proliferation of them.
Well, that might be helpful for Stan.
To build the housing for them. It's got to be more economical than, for regular people, and that's being slashed, I think.
Right,
in the
well,
budget.
yeah, probably.
Along with SNAP, food stamps.
Right. And LIHEAP, too. in the
a lye heap.
LIHEAP, the
Well,
low
a
income
lye bucket might be something
heat,
for flying squirrels.
low income heat
Oh,
assistance.
didn't that already
program.
get slashed?
Well, it's always got a big target on it, but in the Trump administration budget, it actually gets eliminated.
This new one?
Totally takes it out. But so it includes all seeds, not
Who's
just
this,
MGA and GMO seeds.
Who's the state rep, Darrow? He got elected in the by-election.
Yeah, he is the sponsor, and I think he's a co-chair of the committee, on the Environment and Ag Committee in the House, where the bill is. He has sponsored, and I brought up some concerns that this bill is like super broad, and it does include the products, not just seeds, and a lot of seeds are treated with pesticides or fungicides or herbicides, and this bill is kind of a run around that because it doesn't talk about pesticides or herbicides and their use, but essentially, because so many seeds are treated, this would be a runaround towns. An unintended consequence is that it would go around town ordinances on pesticide use. That's dangerous.
Hey, he's another one of those pesky former UPS people.
I don't know what that means.
Isn't UPS the private parcel delivery service?
Mm-mm.
The USP Postal Service.
Right. But UPS, the United Parcel Service, is that?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it is private.
Peter White of the morning show with Peter White and the Moose was a former UPS
The
delivery person.
Brown suits.
Yeah. Where's
I don't mean that. They're
brown
brown.
suits.
No.
They wear brown shirts, brown
Shorts,
or pants.
pants. Sometimes pants.
Depending on the weather.
Depending on the weather. Oh,
For
so I don't know.
another,
I don't know.
yeah,
So
you know-
Darrow is a former. Is that what you said?
Yes, he's a former UPS person.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, with Clown College, we have, we have a broad variety of people.
Experiences.
Most of whom don't even have a decent paycheck amongst themselves. If you've strung like 200 or 300 of them together.
Right. Well, so.
I thought I was saying that about Mr. Darrow.
No. He's a very thoughtful person. Unfortunately, this bill is not very thoughtful, and it could have some serious impacts on folks, on towns, and the idea that in our democracy's hard, right? It takes a lot of time, and there's a lot of process. There's public input. And there's, ideally, a lot of back and forth. And that's okay. Ideally.
Yes.
But this bill really...
It can often be preempted.
Exactly. There you go. And this bill would try to do that. And I think in a dangerous way. And it's kind of one of those slippery slope situations where it's seed today... What's it going to be tomorrow? And I think it also it ignores any zoning and planning regulations that towns have already, and that's a huge piece. The original bill really flies in the face of the ability for towns to plan and zone in their own borders. So that's really dangerous.
Yes, but he voted for the fetal homicide bill, Kathy. So all of the considerations are just... Brush him aside.
Not for me. And let's see if there's anybody in Manchester on this committee. Sadly, no, there is not.
Who is on that committee?
There are, let's see.
Oh, he voted for the right to work.
Oh, is this Mr. Darrow?
Yes, he voted for Dairy Farmers Assistance. He wants that. Happy cause.
So Mr. Darrow lives in Grafton. We also have the chair, Mr. O'Connor. He's from Derry. And then the co-chair, I want to say, shoot, who's the co-chair?
Oh, let's have a gander at that. I don't know who anybody is. Any names you, because there's 400 idiots up there.
There are 400 members, yes. There are
400 imbeciles.
There are 2 from Rochester. There's one in Concord. There's the committee, it's the environment.
Sherry Frost.
Environment
She is a
and
friend
Agriculture.
Of my state rep, Tim. Is it Tim Baines? No, he's the alderman from here.
Smith.
Tim Schmidt.
Smith.
Tim Schmidtchen.
Smith.
Smith?
Smith.
He's got a secret name himself.
Oh, I don't know.
Beth Richards, wasn't that the Mary Tyler Moore character?
Oh, I don't know.
No, Mary Richards. Sherry Frost is a
She's from Dover.
communist, yes.
Oh, just because she has red hair.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I'm red-green colorblind.
Oh.
We got somebody from Loudon. Probably
Yeah, there's-
Pearl. Probably goes up there with a big motorcycle. Full leathers, chaps.
There's also somebody from Allenstown, I think.
Yes, Mr. Alan Turcotte.
Yeah.
I prefer the old term Suncook.
Oh, yeah.
Suncook no longer exists.
Well, it's still a section of town.
Yes. My father, after he left the Eden that was Litchfield, New Hampshire, as a boy, they went to Suncook.
Oh, okay.
Where he was tied with a dog collar and a chain so he didn't drown in the river.
Oh, gee.
Yet the dog got to run free.
Yeah.
Something he never forgot about in his 80-some years after.
Oh, I had a friend who lived right in Suncook, and she saw there was an eel run. And
Oh, no kidding.
yeah, and it was just a huge, massive ball of eels.
Yeah, they have
Right
that like
in the-
Wicker Works or something.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They do that in England.
Mm.
Oh, there were eels all in the
yeah.
Scottishwag River when we were kids.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't eat anything because there was human feces that was pumped into the
Oh,
river.
that
And
happened.
Chicken fat and guts because they had a chicken
Restaurant.
rendering plant above the dam.
Oh.
But you know, the EPA is
Luckily,
clearly evil.
we've done better and eliminated,
Come on,
for the most part.
you jump
um,
off the trestle, come up glistening with chicken fat. Who can forget those memories?
It was just like lotion for sun tanning.
Matt Connor, didn't have Matt Connor on Unleashed in the Afternoon, who's 10 years younger than me. He still can't get over the fact that the boys would play down in the river laden with what would be human excrement. Jeez, you know, that's just the way it was.
Yeah.
You just step over it, you don't even really think of it.
Ew. Isn't that wild?
I think that's that's the America we all knew and grew up and loved, and that Donald Trump wants to return us to.
Oh,
A world full of SHIP.
Well, I
world
don't
full of
want to
shit.
go back to that
Are you opposed to going back to the old-time religion?
old-timey religion.
The old-time religion.
No.
TYME.
Yeah, no thanks.
Somehow SHIP seems to be bound up with that too. The good ship of state.
Yeah.
So why is it that Republicans, they believe in, you know...
Well, it's really interesting because it is a local control kind of question, and it seems a little bizarre.
But there's
that-
no local control of states over GMO labeling anymore.
Right.
Yes. And would you want good New Hampshire Republicans who want to, let's say, plant some wild pumpkin seeds from China in their backyard being persecuted there's no other word for it, persecuted by these satanic Democrats. And these
Anti-pumpkins.
Well, we used to call them red towns, right? But then, for some reason, CNN decided to switch on 2000 red with blue. And then all of a sudden, ooh.
Right.
The traditional colors of you communists became blue.
Oh.
Rather than, the Republican blue blood.
Right, the blue versus red. But it is a bit
You're
of a quandary.
You're for the oppression of Chinese pumpkin seed.
No.
I say it's white supremacy. I'll have nothing.
No, it's more of the idea that in a democracy we have a conversation, and sometimes our state laws do not cover an issue that happens in a town, and then all of a sudden, say it's about pesticides on a seed in an area that a town doesn't want pesticides in, say where kids play. And
which was an issue that was brought up.
Which was an issue.
Roundup, the dangers of Roundup.
Right. And now a town can't make its own ordinance about pesticides in areas they don't want pesticides. How is that okay? I don't think that's right. And I think if a town doesn't want to have an area that has pre-treated seeds in it, that has pesticides, they should be allowed to do that.
Hey, some of the greatest minds of the 20th century have said that democracy is both plutocratic and reactionary. Benito Mussolini, for instance.
He said that?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Don't you remember don't you watch the World War II channel? I mean, the History Channel? Well, plutocratic and reactionary democracies. They always blocked the march of the Italian people. Well, because, they opposed them snatching Ethiopia up.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I don't know, Kathy. How does the Sierra Club of New Hampshire come down on this? Or do you speak as SCNH?
I do speak as the New Hampshire Sierra Club.
Oh, kind of like the Mussolini of the environmentalists.
No,
you're pro. You're like the FDR.
We're a little more transparent with our policy and consistent, for instance. But did you know? Here, I'll shift.
I want to talk about lawns.
Oh, you do? Go ahead.
I was just reading a book about gardening for birds. Oh. And it's fascinating how much people, and it's true, we found it out in California, how much money and pesticides and fertilizers people pump into their lawns.
Oh, yeah.
And then the birds don't like it. Right. They'd rather have something wild. But in California, you didn't have any water, so that eventually that's what stopped most lawns, except if you were really rich. No, honestly, when I went up to California, Jesus, where's the lawns?
Right.
There's no water. You can't have a lawn.
I honestly love having clover in my lawn, and I feel a little tortured when I have to mow it because those clover flowers, are so attractive for bees and all sorts of insects. They love that.
Bees are failing. Mm-hmm. Well, that's because of that. I can't remember that type of pesticide. Begins with an N.
Yeah.
Tall grasses. Mm-hmm. Unkempt. The slob that doesn't. I actually mow my lawn all the time.
I mow mine, but
my back will let me.
I do like having clover, and I don't dig up my dandelions. I think
that's what they say. Dandelions are great for birds and insects. The birds will come.
Yeah, and I think dandelions are cute.
and I you know what? I support the opposite of what this guy's saying, because we ought to ban cats. Because I'm telling you, In the state of Wisconsin,
Do
they
you
found
think-
out that 2 million, they have 2 cats. They kill 100 million birds every year.
without
It's
a doubt.
it's shameful. Now, if they want to go after the flying squirrels, maybe we could put
I was gonna say maybe
something on around their necks or something. Okay, no birds. Go get the squirrels. Except you never really see them taking down a big squirrel.
No,
But they
well, they do.
They try.
They do.
A
So I
dog cat.
I had a feral cat in the garage.
Ooh,
And
I've always wanted one of those.
oh my gosh, I had
Barnyard cat.
I found corpses
Of squirrels?
of squirrels
Holy
in the
smoke.
garage, and just like skeletons.
What was its name, the cat?
We called her Mama Cat because she had a litter in the garage.
You didn't fix did you have
No,
it fixed?
we had her fixed afterwards, and we had to get a cage
For the cat?
for the cat to catch her and to bring her to the vet
Oh.
and to have her fixed.
It's a
And
big cat.
she wasn't big. She wasn't big, but she was all claws. Like she wouldn't let you touch her at all.
Yeah. My next door neighbor doesn't like cats. Well, I'm allergic to cats. But
I'm
I wanted
allergic
I
too.
wanted to get a barnyard cat.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean,
Big,
an outdoor
big.
cat doesn't live very long.
Well, they only live about 7 years, but
Yeah.
what a glorious life. Huh? Chasing after things.
If you want to call that glorious.
Well, and there are a lot of people. They keep the cats inside now. I was gardening
So even though I'm allergic, I have 2 cats
in their house.
in my house.
How do
and
you do that?
I have allergy pills.
Cat can put me in the emergency room.
Oh, really? I just get itchy eyes, and I'll get like sinus and itchy around my eyes and nose.
Do you know? I know that a woman, an activist. Her cat controls her.
Oh, yeah.
It's a cat named Oscar. It's an orange cat. They had to take him away.
Mm-hmm.
They put a virus in you and they control you. And this isn't something like in Glenn
that's right, that's
Beck or
right.
Alex Jones, InfoWars. There's something that in their
Yeah,
feces,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it passes
In
through
the
nose,
litter.
and then the cat controls you.
Right. It's and
cat,
it's dangerous for pregnant women in
This
particular.
cat, is your liberal Democrat. Geez, she was out with a petition for Ron Paul. Why Oscar wanted her out
Who knows?
thumping the tub for Ron Paul? I'll never know. Maybe to get some more goodies or something.
Maybe.
Or, if the world went to hell, maybe it'd be good for cats.
Maybe it would.
Bombs start dropping. There's a cat. Right? Get the hell out of the house. Here they come. Here they're incoming. I don't think many cats would care.
Yeah,
Probably
cats.
do in with dogs.
Yeah,
the dogs probably would go.
Cats are kind of jerks. I mean, ultimately,
Well,
they'll knock things over. They'll
attack you.
yeah, they'll
Wait for years to attack you.
and they'll just watch. They're like, I got you.
They do.
Yeah.
They're. I'm not going to say they're satanic. I'm sure there was a cat in the Garden of Eden. And it had nothing to do with Satan or whatever you want to call it. But they do control people. So this whole opposition to this bill might be because your cats decided
I think
they
maybe
they want to preempt. They want premium cat food or whatever the hell they want. More kitty litter.
Right. We demand softer kitty litter. Well,
I know I
that
do.
might be that.
I like to kick it up with my heels and get it on my back.
Well, the other bill I have.
Ooh, there's
is-
another bill.
Yes.
And we only have about 20 minutes for this one.
Okay. I'll be fast. This
Sherry
one,
Frost. She lives on Mass Road. I live on Mass Road.
Oh, but not in the same city.
Do you know that Rich Gerard, who used to have the radio show, he no longer has the radio show anymore.
Oh,
He
really?
used to be on Mass Road, too.
Oh.
Bernardville. Although he'd say he was in Manchester.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy that we can only hope that the cats can control him.
Well, isn't there like something funny between Goffstown and Manchester where there's like a sort of gray line between the two?
No.
But
You're thinking of the Bernardville section. Because there is a Penardville
That's
section
it.
of
That's what I'm thinking.
Manchester, but we won't talk about that because I live near there.
Oh,
And I
no.
don't like to be called to say you're from Peanut. You're from Frogtown, you.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah.
I-
My middle name's Claude,
Oh, Clud.
but that's from my father, who's of English stock. White supremacist.
Well, I think Penardville is
Absolutely.
is quite nice and
Penardville?
Sure.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah. I mean,
I
it's
think,
very neighborhoody.
There's not even a cat store there. I don't know.
No
what-
cat store. I bet there are a lot of cats though.
I don't know, because I was gardening, and like 10 years ago, you'd be gardening, and all of a sudden you look up, and there's two eyes looking at you. You don't see them as much anymore.
No?
Cats. People have indoor cats.
Yeah, my cats are indoors now.
Yeah. My cat, what was her name? Cricket, the family cat. She lived 17 years. She got run over twice.
Oh, gee.
Saw one of them.
Oh no.
Price, well, nothing got broken. Just like stunned.
Right,
That was a
right.
tough cat, but
Just
the
got
dog
knocked.
got run over. Dogs aren't as agile. A little bigger,
They don't have the 9 lives.
No, they just go,
Right.
adios, buddy. Sorry. I'm going to sling you in the dump now. Speaking of slinging into the
Right,
dump,
right.
what the
Here's
chances
another.
do, Bill?
This one is HB 1763.
HB
Mm-hmm.
17.
You want to look that up?
New Hampshire.
Yep.
HB
63.
1763. We like to use official tones.
Right, right.
Or an
One-
officious tone. Whatever that means.
FNA.
FNA?
Mm-hmm.
We said no F-bombing.
And this one is called a road usage fee.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Establishing a road usage
That's
fee
the
and
one.
making appropriation, therefore,
Mm-hmm.
bipartisan.
Mm.
And why do you
So-
oppose? Why do your two cats oppose this bill?
So this one is about the dwindling funds for the roads and bridges. What do you got?
I've got Chris Herbert's. I'm on his Facebook. We can put filthy messages under his name. Serves him right too. He
Well,
doesn't have any cats that I know.
No
of.
cats?
Okay.
Well,
okay,
this-
you go ahead while I say
Okay, this
Off
bill
yours, Buster.
is supposed to raise money for roads and bridges. And right now, a big chunk of revenue comes from the gas tax. And the gas tax is a little tax on every gallon of gas you purchase.
Success. Chris Herbert's cat opposes the bill.
Okay, there
Well,
we
he ought
go.
to learn to shut down. His show's on Wednesday. It's been open a week.
Oh, okay.
Let's find. You want anything else we can? So we got a
So-
thing about what I was playing here, dominated by flying squirrels.
Mm-hmm.
This is a road use
Usage
tax.
fee, right?
And you oppose this, or you
I
for
oppose
it?
it because, so as I was saying, it's
you were.
supposed to raise money with every gallon of gas that's purchased.
But I thought Republicans
But-
were against that.
Well, they don't like it, but they live with it, right? And they don't want to raise it more. So instead of raising the gas tax, they want to add a fee to the registration, the annual registration for cars that get better than 20 miles per gallon.
What does that mean? 20 miles a gallon. I get better than 20 on the highway,
Right. Well,
but they haven't uploaded any.
that's a good question. I think it's average miles per gallon. And say because there are more efficient vehicles that are not burning enough gas to put money into the roads
Right.
and bridges repairs.
Oh, it's the opposite of what you'd think it was about.
Right.
Yeah, there have been a lot of bills like that in many states.
Mm-hmm. And so, well, in some states,
Because if you're you're in a Prius
right, you're not buying enough gas to pay for the
for
roads
your
and
usage of the road.
Right. So
Why
they
don't
say.
they just hike the fees on the roads, the toll roads? Oh, we can't do that.
Well, tolls would be a way to do it.
but
or the
we
gas
can't-
tax, which hasn't been raised in a while, and it's
Well, no,
and
it
it's
had been.
but it's still the lowest in New England.
But it had been 4 years ago or something.
Yeah, with
Remember Tim Smith was on here before.
Governor Hassan, I think.
Right, before he was captured. We're not going to mention what
Who
controls
captured
his
him?
mind.
Oh yeah,
I think
he's
it's
cats.
somewhere here.
He's cats. I think
He has
so.
cats?
Doesn't he? Maybe not. I'm
I
spreading
thought
rumors.
that was a swamp bear. He brought it up from Alabama.
So the thing
Never
about
heard of
putting a tax, an additional tax on the registration fee of efficient cars, is that it's twofold. One is that efficient cars pollute less,
Yeah.
and by polluting less, that's better for our public health. And the other piece is that
So you're actually saving the state money.
absolutely, when we have more efficient vehicles using less gas, we have less air pollution. Bingo, that's good. And right now, cars have surpassed power plants as the #1 source of climate change pollution.
I thought cars always were.
No, power plants were for a long,
Because
long
cars all over the world now, like in China and places, when you got a
Well,
big middle class.
you do it by country.
Oh, so we're just talking about the
United.
États-Unis?
Yeah, États-Unis.
What about Canada?
I don't know that.
They have as big a carbon footprint as we do.
Well, they have other
USA
things
Junior.
going on.
Well, I
USA
mean,
Junior.
per capita.
Right, but this bill doesn't account for the health benefits of driving these fuel-efficient cars, and it ignores the fact that heavier vehicles actually do more damage to our roads, and they're the reason why we need more money to repair roads.
Yeah, but we lost the battles trucking a long time ago. Used to be rail is more efficient to move at
Right.
one point, and
They eliminated
environmentally friendly.
rail in New Hampshire, though.
Yeah, it just went to hell all over the United States. Not in Europe, though.
No,
Not until
no.
now. Europe's speed up. Everybody flies now in Europe.
Yeah.
Because that
Well,
pumped
it's
so
cheap.
many. But it wasn't. When I was
Yeah.
in Europe, it was so easy to take the rail anywhere.
Yeah.
Unless you're in England, because they were always on strike.
Yeah. Well, it's still really easy to take the rail.
Now they fly
In
all
Europe.
the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Kathy, God's coming anyways.
So this bill ignores heavy vehicles that go fewer miles and pollute more and do more damage on our roads. This
Yes.
bill is not balanced or fair, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's directly skewed against the granola eating liberals.
A
They're driving
clear,
those Prius, you know.
right. And so singling
Rather than,
out
meat eating,
singling out a certain
masculine
population.
as you will.
That's not really a
big
good
truck
thing.
drivers.
But I will say, everybody wants to pay their fair share.
Oh no, they don't.
They do. They
Oh,
do.
Kathy, now you're really revealing yourself as
They
controlled
do.
by cats. Yes,
My cat's
more you-
definitely in control. But let me
more-
see.
We want more of what you have.
Right, that's what
Cats.
cats. So this bill, HB 1763, is going to finance. And finance committee includes Manchester people.
Ooh, let me see.
Yeah, or at least one.
Oh, I'm
Look
I'm
at
like
you.
a child. Oh, blanks, girl.
There's some on the front end, but then more in the back.
Robert Walsh, never heard of him. Oh, Littleton.
Yeah, it's
That's where my mother's
it's the
people
biggest committee.
from. Oh, Timothy Twombly. How would you like to have a name like that? Timothy Twombly from Nashua, as they would say. Gerald Griffin from Mount Vernon. Oh, we got 10 minutes. We just breezed through
We
here, huh?
did.
I don't see a god. I mean, I don't see a. Gosh, I don't see a damn. I mean, I don't see anybody from there. Oh yeah, Robert Walsh.
Yeah, some.
Who puts all this crap out there?
This one, the lead sponsor was Norm
Pokey Blood
Major.
Snowless. It says right here.
Norm
used to know
Major
Pokey.
from, where's he from? Pelham? I think he's from Pelham.
Pelham.
Yeah, I think so. But this, I think there is a way to do this by accounting for weight.
Peterborough.
Oh, who's from
Geez,
Peterborough?
Peterborough's the only town in the entire state of Hillsborough County, except for one right next to it that began with an S or something. They voted for yours truly.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Is that s-
I'm no my
what's the town?
career in politics is over.
Yeah.
Are you
Antrim?
It's all over.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'm really pissed off by all these trucks and these things that people drive that. What do you call them? SUVs. That's a truck.
Yeah. They've got a truck chassis.
Everybody's driving trucks. First of all, you can't. They hog up parking spaces.
Oh, they're way too long.
And people are getting killed and wounded to get the oil for the things. But go up to the VA hospital. They're all driving
Everybody's
these
driving
big
trucks.
honkers too.
Huge.
And to hell with
Well,
hell with
if
it.
people want to, I'm not
Well,
going
I
to tell
say
people what to drive.
I say f-bomb them.
No.
I expletive deleted them. No. Jesus Christ! All these trucks. Everybody's got to drive a truck.
Well,
it's a fetish.
Remember,
It's a fetish.
growing up, how many people had a truck?
No, if you had a pickup truck, because you were using it, because the damn thing got 8 to 10 miles a gallon.
It was a farm vehicle.
Yeah, and it was all battle scarred too.
Right.
And God, how you'd like to borrow? You're always want to borrow it.
Right.
Anybody that had a pickup truck was popular.
Right.
It wasn't until I got to California in the 1989 that I saw people drove around the pickup trucks, and there wasn't a scratch on the dang thing.
Fancy.
But oil is, it's our right to go over and murder people by the hundreds of thousands and for their oil.
For their SUVs. It's tough because, I think there's a way
People
to...
should be transported in pods.
Pods.
Oh, yeah.
Take the pod home.
Yes.
I'm going to take the pod.
They talked about this stuff back in 1964 at the World's Fair.
Right.
We take a pod.
Take a pod.
This is something it's masculine and American is like a big honking truck.
Well,
I want a big friggin' four-wheeler with monster truck. I'll drive over these damn bridges. Hell with it. Infrastructure. Screw that. I'll just go right over the damn thing.
Well, it is a problem,
cat,
right?
My cat on my shoulder. Come on, Hot.
Telling
Come on,
you
Stan.
where to go. Telling
Throw
you
that
where
thing
to go.
into gear. Let's get the hell out of here. And then you got traffic, right? Oh, Jesus. You got to get to the studio. You just take that monster, you just run right over them.
Take the pod.
I'm a veteran. I have my rights.
Pardon me.
Pod. Here's something. Along with crypto, I finally made a pitch for cryptocurrency to a person who used to work with out in California. Little did I know that in the previous month they'd lost 60% of their value. Yeah, just leave it up to old numbnuts here. I mean, Stan Skibiskowski.
Well, I do think it's worthwhile talking about.
Do you think either one of these are going to pass?
I do.
What's Gene Chandler have to say? And then I got a funny story. We can end the show.
I
was going to say it on the Matt Connaughton show.
I don't know if. I don't know. I don't know what his position on either one.
You don't?
I don't.
You don't? Do you know his position on legal conversion of campaign funds?
That would be a good thing to know.
Yeah, since he does have some broad experience,
right?
In that,
in understanding the boundaries.
Only for what I read in the Union Leader. I'm not using terms.
What do I know?
What do I know?
What do I know? Not a lot. So,
we only got 5 minutes. I can't tell the story about when I went up there to when Gene Chandler, Steve Shirt left, and who was the other guy? They had the thing with the dogs, but we'll have to tell that another time.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, it was the contest. Who had the smartest dog?
Oh, I miss
Is
that.
it, I'll get Steve Shirtlift's dog one, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
Well, in closing, this bill isn't fair, but I think there is a way to address the issue, because the issue is we need more money for our roads and bridges,
But we ain't gonna get it.
not in gas tax. That's for sure.
What's gonna happen in New Hampshire? Well, I guess the latest budget is just a cornucopia for any lobbyist, Democrat or Republican.
Yeah, the state budget, you mean, or
Well, I know that the state of has already downshifted a bunch of stuff onto the city of Manchester,
yeah.
having to do with pensions and education.
Well, and that's
stuff.
what the Trump proposal for infrastructure is, for roads and
Well,
bridges. It
Yeah, it's going to be
downshifts.
800 million of the trillion is from yours truly,
Right,
the taxpayer,
right.
the local taxpayer.
Right.
Yeah, they're not going to go to the debt market for you.
It's pretty.
So there's not going to be anything here. I sat in the city hall and listened to a very reasonable proposal about increasing the tolls. For it was 30 cents or 29 cents or 25 cents for somebody that's got an easy pass,
Right.
each from Massachusetts and back, so you could get these damn roads built that would take about 1 year in California. They're going to take 37,000 years. You know, For
Right.
the next we'll finally have lost our pods. We'll
Right.
just be able to teleport ourselves telekinetically or
Right,
something.
right.
And
Don't need the roads or the tolls.
I
at
never
all.
saw such crap. Everybody that's running for office has to come to the damn thing. Then there was Mayor Gatsis was there making the that it's not. What was it? Going from $1 to $1.20. Let's just say it's not a 20% increase. It's really a 40% increase because you got to come back. Oh, little did he forgot to factor in. You have to pay another thing. Oh, jeez, I should have recorded that thing. But nobody wants to do anything in this damn state. They
Right,
don't.
right.
They don't want to pay for anything.
Right.
This
you get what you
state
pay for,
can't
you
get
know?
anything done. 93. I've been back here now 8 complete years. They could have built 8 billion super highways of 8 billion miles of highway in California. 93. I've never seen anything like it because there's no will. All those knuckleheads up at the Clown College, they don't want to do anything.
No,
They're stupid.
It's frustrating, especially for
This is all crap
public.
that they're pushing.
Yeah, public needs, and not funding anything. And I don't know where the money goes, honestly.
Oh, well, since when it comes to transparency, New Hampshire is the bottom 5. There's 45 states that more transparency.
Oh, really?
Where does the money go?
Yeah.
Where does anything go in this state or this damn
frustrating.
city?
Right.
So this is
and a huge portion of the gas tax actually goes to other things. It's not all just dedicated.
Oh yeah,
for
they loot
roads and
they loot the
bridges.
damn thing. I don't know. I'm sick of New Hampshire. I'm sick of Manchester.
What are you going to do about it?
Leave.
And where are you going to go?
Oh, probably Mass or New Mexico or California. But I've had it here.
Yeah.
It's just such a. We're talking about this. It's just that clown college.
Yeah.
But to not be able to build a highway, they've only got 95, 93, and part of 89. What the hell, You can't build the damn thing.
Right. Or
It's incredible. If I was coming from out of state and looked at this, why would I put any money in here? It's like knucklehead heaven. If this state wasn't located next to Massachusetts, which is booming,
Right.
you should see the house prices now.
Right.
It's booming. It's the 7th most dynamic economy in the world, just Boston. This place would be, probably Arkansas would be better. We'd be West Virginia. We're just piggybacking off of Massachusetts.
It's frustrating, especially when you see these kinds of bills that are heavy-handed.
Yes,
that
and we got
are-
1 more minute.
And
Hey, why don't you
it's-
come back? If maybe John will be here.
Okay.
I don't know. Stan.
As long as John doesn't move away.
I don't know about this John character, but I got caught here by marriage. Finally, the divorce decrees this week, and you're going. Thank you, Kathy Corkery,
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
It was very nice to
we
be
got
here.
about 5 minutes of talk into a 55-minute slot.
Not bad.
I've outdone myself this time. But yeah, you're welcome to come back, and there's Matt Connaughton Unleashed in the afternoon.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. I'm going to give you the
Ciao.
finger, but my hands don't work anymore.
Hi, I'm Senator Lou D'Alessandro, and I encourage